In Google Sheets, you sometimes want to enter a date and make sure that it's a valid date. There are a couple of ways to do this. This first way is nice and easy if you're just typing it in just for yourself. And what you're going to do here is go Shift, at, and then type in date. Okay, now you can insert today's date. Just click on there and that's going to insert the date today, or else you can make it simply a date. Or else you can type in date, and when we click on that, single click on that, it comes up with this pop-up calendar, this selection criteria. So I can go right through to, let's say, February 29, which is in 2024, which is a valid date because that's a leap year, 29th of February. So that's the first way. Nice and easy if you just want to force to have that date picker in there. The second way is using a date validation, and to do that, what we're going to do is go into data here, and we're going to say, hey, I want this date that somebody's going to be typing in, I want it to be a valid date. So click on data validation. You can add a rule, and it's just going to be for that cell. It's already a drop down box. We don't want the drop down box. What we want to do is go here and say that it is a valid date. So I'm just going to click there. I'm going to say reject the input if they don't put in a valid date. It will actually just block them. I can type in a help text too if I want, and say I want the date in the format MMDDYYYY, for example. Click done there, and now if they go in and they can just start typing in the date. If they click on that cell, 3 Feb 2024, so that's putting the day of the month ahead of the month itself. Or else they could just double click here and that will give them the date picker. You can go to next month and scroll down, click on this one, whatever you want there. Okay, and that format, let's just have a quick look at that. That is day space month space year. If you want to change that format, you can go to custom number format. I usually prefer that to the custom date and time. And you can say, hey, I want it to say MM, 2 digits, or maybe 3 letters, and then DD, 2 digits, and then maybe a comma, and YYYY, okay? And then it will display in that format. And now a bonus tip. Just as we did the date validation here on this cell, we can do that again. And so what we can do is add a new rule for C2 and say the date is not valid. We want it to be not just a valid date, we want it to be before a particular day. Okay, so we can say the date is before. Obviously, you've got other options here. Date is after, or on or after, or between. You can play around with that, but date is before. Let's say the date is before today. Okay, once again, you can reject the input or just have a warning and let them go ahead and just put in a warning there. You can add a help text if you want and click done. And so today, today's date, as I'm recording this, is November 20, 2023. Let's say I go for a date that's September 2024. There we go. It's giving me that warning. No. Input must be before a particular date. So I probably would want to add a better description there in my validation help text.